Instruction skill 4 is an incredibly important one. This is talking about the order of operations. And before I get to this actual example, I do want to start here with the margin thing, just so that we're all on the same page with some of this vocabulary. So over here in the box on the left, it's talking about order of operations. And the example they give us is 5 parentheses 8 minus 6 parentheses. What that means is 5 times the quantity of 8 minus 6. And you must do parentheses first. So that would leave us with 5 times 2, which is a total of 10. Powers. Squares are exponents that are squares have exponents 2. So 0, 2, 0 to the second power is 0 times 0, or 0. 1 to the second power is 1 times 1, which is 1. And 2 to the second power is 2 times 2, or 4. The base is the tall number. The exponent is the little number. Cubes mean that something is raised to the third power. For example, 0 to the third power is 0 times 0 times 0, which is 0. 1 to the third power is 1 times 1 times 1. And 2 to the third power is 2 times 2 times 2, which is 8. Square roots and cube roots are also done in that exponent or powers stage. So we will be looking at some of those. If you have not already, I recommend that you do the computation review on pages 145 and 148. And that will help you with the computation. Okay, the first example here is saying to find the value of the following expression. And I find this very unusual because they give me a calculator. So if you have the calculator, use it. And at the bottom of this page, it shows you how to type in the calculator. Personally, I would rather not use a calculator for these because I find that I make more mistakes typing than I do with the math. So I'm going to show you how to do this without the calculator. The bottom of this page shows how to do it with the calculator. All right, let's look at about the order of operations. To find the value of an expression, and an expression does not have an equal sign. To find the value of an expression, follow these rules in order. Find the value of the numbers within parentheses. Find the value of any power or any root. Multiply and divide terms from left to right. Add or subtract terms. So let's apply that process to this expression. And let me write it up here so I can work with it. I have 12 plus 5, parentheses, 8 minus 6, parentheses, third power, divided by the square root of 4. No matter how tempting it is, start with the order, the parentheses. So I'm going to do this step first. 8 take away 6 is 2. Okay, write it down. I do need to keep my parentheses, and here's why. That 5 is pressed up against the parentheses. If I removed that first parenthesis, I would have 52, and I do not want that. Let me do it for you so you can see what I'm talking about. If I remove that, I have 52, and that is not what I want. Trust me, it isn't. All right, so then I'm going to bring down all of the terms that I have not used. You're just copying. And then the next thing we have to do is raise a number to a power. So I'm going to raise the 2 to the third power. And let me come up here and do that. 2 to the third is 2 times 2 times 2. And that's going to be 4 times 2. That is 8. So I'm going to keep my parentheses because, again, I don't want 58. But I'm going to put that 8 right there in this space. Okay. And then I will copy everything else. Each time you copy, you're getting a smaller problem. Oh, I forgot something. I should have done this one as well. Let me go back and just mark that. The square root of 4 is 2. So it'll just come down here and we are good to go. All right, then it says to multiply or divide from left to right. So here's multiplying. 5 times 8 is 40. And then 40 divided by 2 is 20. But don't forget, out there on the front end of this problem, we still have this 12 and its plus sign. Have to bring that down here. And then 12 plus 20 is 32, and that should be the final value of the expression. And sure enough, it was. One clue that you're doing this correctly is that you get this V shape. You should always get that funnel shape if you're working these correctly. Even here, you get the funnel shape. And that's a clue that it's looking good. Okay, they did the same thing we did. I'm not going to bore you by reading through all that. These are the steps, and that will get you the answer. Order of operations. Again, the calculator steps are down here at the bottom. Feel free to use those. You should get 32. Just make sure that you're getting 32 or something is not right. But you can always ask your instructor for help with this if you need it. All right, let's take a look at page 21. We have concept and procedure. There is no application on this page. My favorite part is missing, and that is actually all there is. So, okay, we'll just have to do concept and procedure this time. Last week, Cassie sold 153 raffle tickets. This week, she sold 207 tickets. The price of each ticket is $5. Which expression tells the value of the tickets she sold in the 2 weeks? So we know that we are going to say week 1 and week 2. And those are both tickets, so I'm going to group those together. And then we're going to multiply that times 5 because each ticket cost $5. So week 1 was 153. The word and means add. This week is 207 times 5. So I can eliminate number 1 because it does not have any addition. I can eliminate number 2 because it does not have any multiplication. Number 4 has multiplication and addition, but they're in the wrong places. The 153 gets added to the 207. And number 5 has subtraction, and we're not subtracting. So the answer is number 3. And let me show you why. Let's suppose that I wrote it this way. That is not incorrect. You can do that. The problem is right here. In an algebra problem, x's mean something other than multiplication. So once you get into algebra, it is customary to write multiplication this way. And this is something that is very important that you learn. That when you have a number pressed up to parentheses like that, that means multiply. It is telling you the same thing. 5 times that quantity. So your answer here is number 3. Cole has 2 jobs. He works 15 hours each week for $12 an hour at car care. So I'm going to say car care. And 20 hours each week for $10 an hour at Auto Depot. Which expression tells how much Cole earns each week? Well, at car care, he does 15 hours for $12 an hour. So we could say this like 15 times 12. And at Auto Depot, he does 20 hours a week at $10 an hour. So that would be 20 times 10. And that looks awfully good to me. So number 1 is not an option because nowhere does he make $11. Number 2, it's adding the $10 and the $12, which we don't want to do. Those go with 2 different jobs. Number 3 looks pretty good, except for that minus sign in there. That should be a plus. Number 4, we have lost the 10. And number 5 is exactly what I'm looking for. It looks just like mine. And that's the answer we want. And I forgot to make that blue. There's Auto Depot, there's car care, and there's the word and. That little word and is so important. Number 3. From a catalog, Jim orders 3 denim shirts and 2 sweatshirts. If Jim pays an $11 shipping cost, which expression gives the total cost of his order? So he did 3 denim shirts and 2 sweatshirts. So he has 3 expenses here. He has the denim shirts, the sweatshirts, and the shipping. Okay, denim shirts are $16 and he got 3 of those. Sweatshirts are $22 and he got 2 of those. And then his shipping was how much? $11. So I'm looking for something like this. I am liking option 4, but let's figure out what's wrong with everything else. Number 1 is adding the 3 and the 2. That's not what we want to do because they're different kinds of shirts. Same thing here. Don't want to do that. Number 3, they have the 3 times 16 and the 2 times 22, but they multiplied the shipping instead of added it, and that's not what we want. And then number 5, fine, except they subtracted the shipping. We don't want to subtract it. It is an expense in this picture. So I like number 4 for this one. We're adding up all of his expenses. Number 4, don't panic here. I know this looks a little bit funky, but we'll get it. The length in centimeters of one side of a machined metal brace is given by the following expression. What is the length of the brace? So if you come over here, I'm just rewriting the problem so I can work with it. The first thing we need to do is our exponents. 3 to the second power, that's 3 times 3, which is 9. So 3 to the second power is 9. 4 to the second power, that's 4 times 4, and that is 16. We don't want to lose the addition or our square root sign. 9 plus 16 is 25, and the square root of 25 is 5. So this one is exactly 5 centimeters. Number 5. An engineer computes the length in inches that a new steel bridge will expand after a 20-degree rise in temperature. She uses the following expression. How many inches will the bridge expand? So I won't say simply, I'll say we have to complete this math, and then we will know the number we're looking for. We're going to collapse it down to a single number, and we must follow the order of operations. So the first thing order tells me is to do what's in parentheses first. And you can this is not a calculator problem, so I would come over to scrap paper and do the math. 7.3 minus 2.3 is 5. So I'll leave the 5 in there. Copy what you have not used. And now we're ready for exponents and roots. So we have this one, and then we have this one. Those all get done on the same step. 5 to the second power, that's 5 times 5, or 25. And the square root of 25 is 5. And we copy everything else. Then you must do multiplication and division before add and subtract. So this comes next. And 25 divided by 5 is 5. And then you're ready to finish this problem. 8 minus 5 is 3. So I would expect this bridge to expand 3 inches when it gets too hot, or when it gets 20 degrees warmer in temperature. That would be important if you're an engineer, to know how much expansion you're going to see. It's a good question. It's a good science question. Don't panic. Number 6, you may use a calculator if you need it. The maximum height in kilometers attained by a rocket is given by the expression below. What is this maximum height? So I'm going to copy the problem so that I can work with it. I'm not changing anything. And then all of this is on top of a 3. Now you can type this directly into your calculator if you want. No problem at all. All right, so I'm not going to do that because I'll make a mistake typing it in. First thing, I don't have any parentheses, but I do have an exponent there. So I'm going to do that. Five to the second power is 25. So I'm just going to write that down. I'll keep the highlighter going so you can follow what I'm doing. That's all I did. Made that into a 25. And then I'm going to copy. So I have 5 plus, this is called a radical sign. All over 3. Now I'm going to do multiplication or division. I have to get that before I can take the square root. So I'm going to do 4 times 2 times 2. And I'm going to come over to the side here and do that. 4 times 2 times 2. That is 8 times 2 is 16. So all that blue mess becomes 16 down here. And then I will copy everything else. So 25 minus 16. Then I have a 5 plus, and all of that is over 3. 25 minus 16, that is 9. And I still have that square root thing going on. So 5 plus square root of 9 over 3. Square root of 9 is 3 over 3. And that will equal 5 plus 1, or 6 kilometers. So I like answer 1 on that one. That is not an easy problem. You really have to pay attention, have to do a lot of copying to get that one done. But your final answer there should be number 1.